So we're back for this week Bhakti Shastri's annuity portion of our discussion which we are having. Uh, we will begin our with where we have stopped last time. We were discussing about the three levels of devotees who are actually qualified, whose qualifications are, you know, according to their accordingly, these, because the faith that they have, accordingly, they are qualified for practicing bhakti. So, this is so one who has, the by kanishtha, madhyama, uttama, what we have been discussing. Surely, can you say in one line each of the qualifications for each one of these uttama, madhyama, and kanishtha? What is the qualification for uttam? Who can say it too? In one line only. Uttam, uttama bhakt's qualification.
Prabhuji, expert in scriptural knowledge as well as logic and reasoning, and who has
Yeah,
strong faith.
yes. He has a strong faith and has a great amount of scripture knowledge, and he can even convince others. Okay, very good. Madhyama.
Prabhuji, he may not be so much expert in studying the revealed scriptures, but he has very, very firm faith in the scriptures and the Guru.
Yeah, amazing is that if he doesn't has much has not read, how he has faith. But
Because he has heard from the Guru, and
yeah.
that's why he has firm
So
faith in
yes, he has. He is not
parampara.
very. Yeah, he is not nipuna in shastras, but he is a nipuna has been said. He's not very, he doesn't knows many, but his faith can't be shaken up by anybody. He may not be able to convince, but it is there because of dint of his practice. He has a dint of his hearing is there. Okay. The third, kanishtha. Who can say kanishtha? What is the anybody
Prabhuji,
kanishtha?
yeah, Prabhuji, he is not expert in the revealed scriptures, and the faith is also not so strong. He has Komala Shraddha, so it can be shaken up by someone else. And his object of worship is also not is not much convinced of his object of worship.
Faith is less, yes.
Faith is less.
Yeah, yes. Faith is this Komal Shraddha, that's what it is. And surely he is Shastra Nipuna. But but Madhyama's Nipuna in Shastra is higher than this Kanishta also. So now based on these three, no, one with based on this, one with a strong knowledge and faith in scripture, he is considered highly qualified for Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. One with a less knowledge but a strong faith has middle qualification for practicing Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. And one without knowledge and with weak faith has a lowest qualification to perform, sadhana bhakti. And what does it means lowest qualification and all those? Like suppose some, like a three boys, they apply in a university entrance exam, and in that exam, one of them may stand out, have a result. The result may come as a fair. One of them may get a fair. They get a remark, na? Fair student. The second one may get his grade as a good. Third one may get as a grade as excellent. Same test is there, but now they have no same university. The grade is fair, good, and excellent in the entrance exam. So the university dean will consider each this applicants differently. Those who have scored fair, he might think he's hardly qualified for this university. At least he will need okay, but okay, because he has given the exam, he has given, interest, he has shown the interest. At least, I'll make him entry, but I'm very clear. He will need serious, tutoring. He will need very serious guidance, person to get through his first year also. And no, and with a little, and but the person who has got good grade has been given, his grade has been remarked as good. The he will be made, the university dean will think, oh, with the little help, this person who has grade and who has scored good marks has the potential to get his bachelor degree. But the third one who has, excellent marks, oh, he is capable of making even of, he has that making of a PhD candidate also. So same way, in short, the student's prior learning indicates that aptitude for university studies as well, right now. As the degree, so prior whatever they have learned in +2 till level, that aptitude, indicates that learning indicates their aptitude for university studies as well, right? Even, even we see in an entrance exam, those who have not done 11th and 12th, we properly we know that which student, which college they will be able to go, JEE or something like that, right? No? Anything like that. So in short, the prior learning surely indicates the aptitude for university studies as well as the degree of additional help they may need to complete the graduation requirement. No, do you understand this? No? So similarly, kanishtha, who is compared to as a person who has got a fair, has scored fair, he is hardly qualified for uttama bhakti. But even if he is, because he has come, he wants to enter into it, he will require a serious tutoring, very seriously, has to be guided, observed, protected, and may get through his first year. May not be even graduation completed, even after serious. So now, but if he becomes a good student, then it is fine. So, but if a madhyama, a person who has a pre-qualification like a madhyama, he has the conviction on shastras, may not know the shastras very well. Oh, he can go up till, he's a medium qualification in for uttama bhakti. No, for by little help he will go ahead. No, he may complete his bachelor degree, or he may complete up to some level, you can say. And uttama is, oh, he will go very easily. He is not, he can go up to even a PhD. So the analysis of faith and learning in devotee is similar. No, the analysis of faith and learning in devotees is similar, but those with the analysis, the platform analysis is the same, but those with weak faith and no knowledge, and those with a firm faith and little knowledge, means kanishtha and madhyama, are not as qualified to advance in devotional service as uttama. This is uttam previous I am saying, kanishtha, madhyama, uttama before to uttama bhakti also. So eventually the devotee who are at the level of kanishtha and madhyama, they must come to the uttama level. The one, because when he comes at the uttama level, he will be qualified. He qualifies. He will be qualified for love of Krishna. Now, surely, love of Krishna. Now he will be qualified, but whether Krishna gives or not, that's a different thing. But if they do not, they remain at the same stage of kanishtha and madhyama, stages of advancement, then actually says that it is he won't be able to get it. So he won't be able to get the love of God. So compared now this uttama, madhyama, kanishtha compared on the shraddhavan category, means shraddha ke hisab se, it is evident that for no so now these three as I'm talking kanishtha madhyama uttama, by this we can is evident that the four pious people as mentioned by in Bhagavad Gita in 7.16 no ye artho artharthi jigyasu gyani, that shloka, no they are though no they are hardly qualified, they have hardly have any qualification for pure devotional service. Why? Because they do not accept that they should serve the Krishna to simply to please him. Rather, they serve Krishna to please themselves. So only when they acquire pure faith do they become qualified for pure devotion. So no, so as we are saying about this, uh, as we are saying about now, we'll read what Prabhupada also has mentioned in his purport, and then we'll go ahead with more further on this Chaturvidha Bhajante Mam Jnani Sukrito Arjuna. That shloka we will see how actually those people, eventually what is the position of a Jnani. That because that has been spoken by Prabhupada also in his annuity. So that's very important to understand that. We'll try to figure it out. Any okay, okay, let us begin. You start reading. Yeah, read over here. Further qualification of a neophyte. It is stated that, please read.
सौम्य सौरभ को
Can you highlight those images for the okay,
It is stated that
okay. It is stated here that four classes of men, namely those who are distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are inquisitive, and those who are wise, begin devotional service and come to the Lord for relief in the matter of their respective self-satisfaction. They go into some place of worship and pray to God for mitigation of material distress or for some economic development or to satisfy their inquisitiveness. And a wise man who simply realizes the greatness of God is also counted among the neophytes. Such beginners can be elevated to the second class or first class platform if they associate with the pure devotees. Can I continue, Bruno?
that
An example of the neophyte class is Maharaj Dhruva. He was in need of his father's kingdom and therefore engaged himself in devotional service to the Lord. Then, in the end, when he was completely purified, he declined to accept any material benediction from the Lord. Similarly, Gajendra was distressed and prayed to Krishna for protection, after which he became a pure devotee. Similarly, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, and Sanat Kumara were all in the category of wise, saintly persons, and they were also attracted by devotional service. A similar thing happened to the assemblage in the Naimisaranya forest headed by the sage Saunaka. They were inquisitive and were always asking Suta Goswami about Krishna. Thus, they achieved the association of pure devotee and became pure devotees themselves. So that is the way of elevating oneself in whatever condition one may be. If he is fortunate enough to associate with pure devotees, then very quickly he is elevated to the second class or first class platform.
Yeah, yes. So now Prabhupada has spoken about these, 4 class men, Artha, Artha, Jigyasu, Jnani. So saying when he is saying that is very clear that specifically if he is, uh, as he is speaking about the Artho, Artharthi, and Jigyasu, they have their own selfish desires to a large degree. You know, they are religiously. Yeah, Jigyasu is religiously inquiring. You know, that is that's been said. And the Artharthi, he is an economic need. Artha is out of distress. He is coming. They are not coming for Krishna's sake. So these 4 types of persons, now even Jnani, as over here, if he has a spiritual knowledge, he has a quest for spiritual knowledge. Uh, but even over here, they are considered, they are not eligible to practice, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti by his own. Because Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is a practice of pleasing, as Prabhupada was saying, but without ulterior motive. But these 4 people have different kind of ulterior motives. Uh, so thus they lack even the weak faith which is required, for minimum eligibility to practice pure devotional service in Vaidhi sadhana also. However, it's been said, this is the shloka which has been spoken over here. Okay, I'll show you. That's very good. What is the shloka in the from NOD, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? What has been spoken over here is this. Yeah. Tatra Gita di Suktanam Chaturanam Adhikarinam Madhye Yasmin Bhagavata Kripa Syat Tat Priya Shyavana Sashina Tat Tat Bhava Swa Akshuddha Bhakti Adhikaravan Yathebha Saunakadi Chadhruva Sacha Chatu Sanaha. Read the highlighted bold one.
Now, the Gita and other scriptures mention 4 qualified persons. Among them, whoever receives the merciful blessings of the Lord can gradually attain the qualifications of pure devotion, as happened with Gajendra, Shaunak and the sages, Dhruva and the 4 Kumaras.
So among them, whoever will receive the merciful blessings of the Lord directly, like Gajendra, or even through Maharaj who received, or through a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, they gradually attain the qualification for pure devotion. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti also. Saying this, it is a now then he says about that these 4 kind of people, these 4 kind of people, they are pious and they turn to the Lord for fulfillment of their own motive. Like what Prabhupada was also saying that Dhruv Maharaj, in his case, he said why he came. Gajendra, he was distressed. He want to come out of the. Dhruv was looking for economic benefit. Gajendra was looking for getting out of distress. Sanaka Sanatana, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar. They were in category of wise people to whom we say as that as Jnani, and Naimisharanya sages, Sanaka, they were inquisitive, they were Jigyasu. So, but we know that Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, they were converted to being a devotee as a follower of a Uttama Sadhana Bhakti. And they are not Raga Nuga Sadhana Bhaktas because they have not gone to Raga because they don't have, they were not practicing that. So they had got the mercy of the Lord. Tasya Ravinda Kinjalpa. There's a very beautiful shloka. Tasya Ravinda. I'll surely, that is a very good to be discussed that. So he actually the these 4 Kumaras, they got that shloka, Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Padara Vinde. kinjal misra tulsi makaranda vayu antargatah swavivarena chakaratesham Sankshobham Aksharajusam Abhijittanvo. So that shloka very clearly says that how when the breeze carrying the Tasyara Vinda Nayanas Padaravinda Kinjal Kamishra Tulsi Makaranda Vayu. It was carrying the aroma of the Tulsi leaves which was put at the lotus feet of the Lord. That entered Antargatah Sovivarena Chakara Tesham. It entered into the nostril, into the body, in the mind. And though they were attached to impersonal Brahman understanding, they gave it up now because of the mercy of the Lord. So these all people can eventually become no Artha or Thati Jigyasu Gyani if they got the mercy of the Lord or the mercy of the devotees, pure devotees. So said like that, these people actually they are no who they are actually right now they have some qualifications for getting into bhakti, but they are not completely. We can't say that. Yeah, we can't say that they are qualified for uttama. They will become qualified for uttama bhakti. That's what has been said over here. So this is said. This we can understand what is the level of uttama bhakti. And surely, Uttama Bhakti has to be free from Bhukti, Mukti, Spriha, Yavat, Pisachi, Hriday Vartate, Tavad Bhakti Sukhasyatra, Kataham, Abhyodayah Bhavet. No, the demon-like desires of Bhukti and Mukti means sense enjoyment and liberation, which is maybe there in the one's heart. He can't delight, pure Bhakti. He can't delight at pure bhakti. How can the delight of the pure bhakti will also appear in his heart? That's what has been said. So a very huge discussion has happened about these four category of people: Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani. Because 7.16, 17, 18, 19, 20, Krishna himself, Bhagavad Gita says about this, that Chaturvida bhajante mam jnani sakritam arjuna, Artho Jigyasu Artharthi, Jnani cha bhartara sabha. I hope you all remember. So if I can show you also those shlokas. Okay, I'll show you. Else you will say, what is this? So 7.16 actually is this what I just now recited to you. And then I'll show you. So this is Chaturvida Vajante Mam Gyani. No, then see Prabhupada over here also, right? Among best of the Bharata, oh best of the Bharata, four kind of pious men. They're pious men, huh? Begin to render devotional service. They will begin eventually, unto me the distressed desire, the desire of the wealth, the inquisitive, and who is searching for the knowledge of the absolute. So then he says ahead this shloka. Tesham gyani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnanino atyartham aham sacha mama priyah. So he says that, read one of you of these.
Of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me.
So means Prabhupada is saying over here, a person who is a jnani, right, is the best. Because he's searching for the absolute truth. He has knowledge. Then he says, Udara sarve evaite jnani to atma eva me matam astitah sahi yuktatma mam evanu uttamam gatim. No, mam evanu uttamam gatim. Read one of you.
All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but one who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal.
So Jnani people, they can eventually very quickly, they are most qualified people, like the people who are having, excellent as their remark in the test, university entrance exam. So they can very quickly get into it. They are right now till the point the Lord's mercy has not come or the devotee's mercy has not come, he will be or not practicing Uttama Bhakti. But very quickly he will, because he has that desire also. And then, surely, ye athamam prapadyante, that happens. And he gets into it. And then last he says, Bahunam janmanam ante, jnanvan mam prapadyate, vasudeva samahatma sudurlabha. And after many birth and death, he was actually knowledge surrenders into me. So because all these three people, Artho, Artharthi, and Jigyasu, they have to become Jnani. They have to actually get an interest in the absolute truth, to get the knowledge. Then, these people, and that may happen even so for some people, many births together. So such a great soul is very rare, who, because that's why Jnani is considered to be very rare, because Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu may take many births to come at this level also. So then final is this, when he says that, okay, kamasthas or not. So after saying like this, all this, there's a huge discussion which has been shared by our acharyas. They are basically they are saying what to be summarized. I'm saying these four kind of religious people, who come to the Lord because of their own reasons, not just to please him. But a jnani among these four is a knower of Atma. No, because Sridhar Swami actually he explains the reason also why Krishna considered the jnani to be the best. Because jnani he is devoid of mental distractions, because he has no false identification with his body. He is Atma Jnani, right? Na? He is, देह आदि अभिमान अभावेन, उसको इस ज्ञानी को देह का अभिमान नहीं होता. His chitta is vipeksha bhavam. His chitta is very, very, serene. It's a nukta yuktatvam, ekanta bhakti tattvam cha sambhavati nanasya. Means he is devoid of mental distractions because he has no false identification with the body. He develops a state of constant meditation on Atma and absolute devotion to Atma. The absolute devotion to Atma means he has understood the the body will only work for making Atma one, means myself, the Atma, for the sake of Atma, not for the sake of the body. I'll not engage myself for the sake of my body. That's Atma devotion. It's absolute devotion to Atma. And this is why he is considered to be the best. According to Sridhar Swami, when he explains this. However, one should know that qualification of knowing the knowledge of Atma is, is not the actually thing which is, which can only lead him to Uttama Bhakti. Because Atma ज्ञान है, लेकिन भगवान के बारे में ज्ञान नहीं है ना. So now he has a desire, he wants to know more about it. But if he very quickly, what happens to him? That these jnani who maybe, at most by their own understanding of Atma Gyan, they can understand the Brahman feature of the Lord. That's what a maximum, with the logic and their own reasoning, without the help of Bhakti Shastras and the Shuddha Bhaktas and the Lord, he at most come to this understanding that there is a supreme power beyond me, that is Brahman, and what I have to do, I have to merge into it. That is why he is still considered as he on the gate of the Uttama Bhakti. He is Jnani also. He is not entered into practicing Uttama Bhakti. But for sure, as soon as he gets the help or the stick of the mercy of the Lord and the Vaishnavas, he will very quickly get into it. Uttama Bhakti is practiced, and very quickly even he will go very advanced also, because he is that example. You remember, he is a person who is having excellent as his grade in the entrance exam. So, and the Jnani, and whose example Prabhupada has given for the Jnani category, Prabhu? We just now read line only. Whose example?
4 Kumaras.
And the four Kumaras. And specifically, these four Kumaras example has been given to also stress that bhakti is more powerful than Gyan. They were having Gyan, Atma Gyan, but uh, but they were, uh, they were, they were still not knowing much about the Supreme Lord. They were, they were not having very much, they were not qualified even for Uttam Bhakti that time. So when the bhakti came in them, means through that the Lord's grace came through them because of Tasya Ravinda, Padaravind, Tasya Ravinda Nayanas Padaravinda, that's Kinchal Kamishra Tulsi Makaranda Vayu. Because that entered, oh, they became, they came into the fold of Vaidhi Bhakti. So one should, one can also consider the Narada Muni, his appearance of pure bhakti of Narada, is by the mercy of devotees. And pure bhakti beginning of for these four Kumaras is because of the mercy of the Lord. So, all these, including Jnani, they all require mercy of the Lord or the mercy of the devotees. Else it can't happen. Although there will be some, there will be there this shloka has been commented by Madhvacharya also, by Ramanujacharya also. Other different acharyas may have some other view of seeing this Jnani, but our acharyas are very clear. So this Jnani category is the best category, but he's Atma Jnana. He's inquisitive. He's inquiring about absolute truth. He will eventually inquire about absolute truth. His nature is there because he's self-controlled. He has all these qualities. So he is very good. He's the best candidate for Uttama Bhakti. In the level of kanishtha, I'm saying. Level of kanishtha. So, but he is not a very great person also. He will become great eventually. So that's what's been said. So all this has been very well been spoken. So in conclusion, this has been said that this verse of Gita, the artha, which has been said, artha jikya sugyani. The artha people is a person desiring, destruction of suffering. Artharthi person is desiring attainment of happiness. Just a minute, just a minute. Somebody has. Sorry for interruption. So, yeah. So, and so this artha people, they are desiring destruction of suffering. Artharthi is desiring attainment of happiness. Uh, these, these two persons are of, these two persons are of two varieties. They are interested in short-term solutions, and and there are some people who may be interested in long-term solution. But if a person wants a long-term solution, a deeper solace from grief, or a deeper type of happiness, he becomes a jigyasu. क्योंकि आर्थो अर्थार्थी क्या होता है, वो उसको he just looks for in a short term happiness, but back again they understand ये short term happiness से क्या होने वाला है, हर बार मांगना पड़ता है. Then they become jigyasu, how I can take a long term happiness. So he will become jigyasu. He inquires about, then he starts inquiring about pursuits of his relief from suffering or attainment of happiness. Thus, the jigyasu should be, jigyasu is a person is of the third level, Artho Artharthi Jigyasu. And a Jnani is the person who is possessing scriptural knowledge, uh, uh, as we discussed. So there are three types of Jnanis. Jnanis with the knowledge of the Lord's power. Jnani is also the second category for Jnani is also who has the knowledge of the Lord's sweetness. And a third is those who has the knowledge of Lord's power also and Lord's sweetness also. So surely you have understood the Lord power, the one who has a only knowledge about the Lord's power. He is a Brahman. He is an impersonalist kind of person only. Mostly. That is the path that he is going to take. And a person who has the knowledge about of the Lord's sweetness, he may enter into bhakti, the Uttama bhakti. But even person who has Lord's power understanding, if he comes in a touch with the example of four Kumaras and this Narad Muni, they get the mercy of the Lord and the devotees, then they come. So the Sukritina, which has been word been used, refers to possessing good fortune. Of that shloka has Sukritina. So fortune of gaining faith by the association of great devotee, which causes the impressions of bhakti. So the first three types of person may or may not have that much of Sukriti. If they happen to have Sukriti, then they worship the Lord. No, that is how, because there are many Artho Artharthi Jigyasu people, but if they have Sukriti, then they come to the Lord. That's why there was all Sukritivan. In the case of Jnani, however, it is certain he has Sukriti. Because he has only become knowledgeable of the Lord from such Sukriti only. And thus he definitely worships the Lord. No, this is very been clear. So the Jnani alone, Krishna says he knows about me, worships me, and he has no other desire. So with the indifference even to Varnashram Dharma, he is, which has been very much celebrated in the Smritis and Smritis. And this because he is an Uttama Bhakta. He is very, so he actually, when he associates with the Lord devotee, he takes to Uttam Bhakti very quickly. So this has been what has been spoken till now about the entire wish purpose says about these four. I have done a good analysis. If you couldn't, I've done my job from my side, referring to you from the scriptures of translations and commentaries of Jeev Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this particular section of how Artho, Artharthi, Jigyasu, and Jnani. They are that the first three are not so qualified. The Jnani is qualified because of, but he also can't take up to Uttam Bhakti Jnani directly. He also requires the mercy of the Lord or the mercy of Vaishnavas to take. But yes, Jnani can take up to a very high degree, very quickly, because he has an excellent grade in the entrance exam. Without much help, then he will take it up. Without much help means what? He doesn't have to be all the time reminded that you're not a body and spirit soul. He is already there. He is not to be reminded, give up sense gratification. He is already. He has to be just given the knowledge about the Lord's greatness and sweetness. That's it. So that is also very important. That when we are presenting to people, we present both to people. The Lord's greatness and sweetness according to their level. I'm not saying that we speak about Krishna's 10th canto pastimes, with gopis. No, not like that. But a sweetness can be spoken about, to them in terms of the Lord's relationship with his friends, with his cows and calves, or with his parents, like that. So that kind is fine. So saying this, now you have any question on this? What I have till now we have discussed about these four category people, you can ask. If not, or if it is not understand that also, you can say I will try to. Yes, Mandar.
Prabhuji, the Jnani which you said here means as per the Bhagavad Gita, the Jnani which Krishna is explaining is the Bhakta Jnani, no? Means
No.
he knows about Supreme Lord.
He knows he will even that's what NOD comes into between, which has been explained that when the Lord's mercy will come, he will come to. See, Sanatan Prabhupada is also reporting. Na? They are Jnani category. They were not knowing much about. They were, inquisitive to know. That's what is being said. They were not knowing. They will know if the Lord, but they are very high because as soon as Lord mercy of the Lord will come in their life, they will very quickly take it up.
So mostly Gyani is very much nippon in other shastras and impersonalist and all Vedas and everything, but they don't know about Bhakti Shastras.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why they come in, then they don't come in Bhakti category, they will even not come in kanishtha.
No. Kanishtha also is a Uttama, Bhakti.
Okay. Kanishtha is greater than Gyani, right? Kanishtha adhikari is much more greater than Gyani.
Yeah, yes.
In the sense,
Obviously,
because means,
chanting the holy name of the
yeah.
Lord, can't be compared to any Jnani. No way. But one thing is there, that when a Jnani takes up to Bhakti, his speed will be like a rocket. That is very true. Yeah.
Yes, Surya, thank you.
Yeah. Anything more? Anybody? I hope. Okay, Mritul question.
Ruchi, I have a question from the last class, not this one actually.
Oh.
So maybe should I ask later or ask now?
Just wait a minute. Let's see.
Okay.
Somebody's current topic. I'll surely will get into you. Yeah, Devi Prasad.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Bhaji. So my question is regarding this Gajendra and Chatus Kumaras. Like whenever there is a person who is elevating to the Uttam Adhikari's level, like for example, um, even Narad Muni also. So there is an intervention of pure devotees of the Lord. So for this Gajendra and for Kumaras, who are those devotees like who is intervening like
The Lord can also interfere.
okay.
That means that the mercy of the Lord can also come to him. There, surely you can say how the mercy of the Lord came without, you know, if you want to get into more deeper into it, that because he has a encounter with the Jay Vijay. No, even the bad encounter with the Lord's devotee, can also create such a good fortune. It's a bad encounter, na, which Chatus Kumar has. That Bhagavatam says that. So you can say that in that way that yeah, the Lord's encounter with the devotees led him to get the mercy of the Lord.
And also for Gajendra, this there is a first slok in first chapter. The sloka is that Anya Vilashita Sunyam. So here the Gajendra has already a good past life. Past life is good, and when he's seeking the help from Lord, he is just in a need. So how can on what point he's been considered as a neophyte class of people?
He is Artho. No, he's just looking for getting relief from the misery. No, and he is calling out the Lord. So yes, till this point he is not into Uttama. His qualification is this, that he's calling out the Lord. That's it. The Lord will now shower his mercy, and he will now, and the previous bank account is there of his bhakti. Right. So it will be like that, Prabhu. It is not that uh, it's not that when he was calling out, he was calling with the love or with the desire to please the Lord. That was not. Later on, the desire to please the Lord awakened in him after the mercy of the Lord, not now when he's calling out. It makes you clear, Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Priya Arjun too.
Truly,
On what basis like this Saunak Rishi has been categorized into inquisitive? So there's between inquisitive and Gyani, we have always have that doubt.
No, see, these, that's a very good question. That's a Bhagavatam, where it comes into it very clearly. The Naimisharanya sages, see, there were many kind of sages over there. No, not that the sage which is having a Atma Gyan. There will be some fellows, no, and they were basically they were in the nature of being inquisitive. कौन है किसके लिए करना है क्या करना है they were not very clear about it, their own self, who are they, and as a atma gyan, they didn't had much. This is a group of sages, na. It is all sages have different inclinations, understandings. So but whereas Chatush Kumaras, they were very clear. See, they have come to come to Vaikuntha gate. These Naimisharanya sages, they were not knowing much about, na, that Bhrigu Muni goes from here. Naimisharanya sages only, na, one of them was chosen to figure it out who is the supreme, Brahma ji, Shivji or Vishnu. They were all having different conceptions. Some of them said, hey, शिव जी के लिए यज्ञ करना है, फिर सबने बोला नहीं, हम ब्रह्मा जी के लिए करेंगे, कुछ ने बोला नहीं, विष्णु के लिए करेंगे, झगड़ा हो गया। तो रेफरी की तरफ बोले बने चलो चलो किसी को तो अभी भेजना पड़ेगा। So they were not into that stage of even understanding. Some of them were much lower than that also. Some were tantras also. Some were. So that is why they are not considered as a group as equivalent to the Chatuskumaras. Very cool. Anything? I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, more will be very clear when you enter into Bhagavatam. Over there, you will the commentaries mentions like that over there. That is what I would say, right? Yeah, Mridul Krishna.
Roji, like we discussed about Uttam Bhakta, he can give best logic and reasoning for the things, correct? So my question was, like why it is not related to faith? Because we hear stories like there was one simple like Brahmana who is following everything, but he is not having faith. But other simple person who can accept that. There was some story like Lord is Anarada Muni tells ki Lord is putting elephant through the hole of the needle. So that person is considered because he is having strong faith. And we see other many devotees also, they may be very simple, and they may not explain each and everything with the logic and reasoning, but they have very strong and great faith on the Lord, and they practice also very strongly. So then how we it is this like said that the Uttam Bhaktas can do logic and reasoning and not the like you understood, Naviji?
Yeah, I was expecting this question. Yes, from last time only I was expecting this question. That is specifically being in the we being in teaching, we are getting teachings of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has surely saved us a lot from just getting into scholarship, which seems to be over here. See, over here he is not just a so this Uttam is Shastra Yukta Nipunaha, and he actually you will see all great devotees. Even in our movement, I'm saying they they may not be able to quote the scriptures, but they can very surely convince people. Now that is Uttama. And what you are saying about one is Uttama of category, also of prema level. That is, we are not talking there these things. See, these people, they may practice bhakti, with faith. Into Vaidhi sadhana bhaktas, they may come, and they may develop, and they have a previous janam, some amount of devotional activity done. That gets added up, they quickly get into even the raga stage. That also can happen. So all all Uttama whom we know, whom we may be considering about this, this question about Shastri Yukta Nipuna, they may not be Vaidhi Sadhana Bhaktas Uttama. They may be very high elevated people. Some of them may be at Bhava and a Prema level. We are not, we are, but when you're saying a Brahman and a cobbler, a story where that cobbler had that simple faith, might not have much of knowledge. No, I'm just giving you a reference. Even the highest of the devotees in Bhagavatam, even the gopis, when they start praying to the Lord, you see what is their prayers. You will be shocked. Their prayers are very much on, they begin the prayer with a lot of description about the creation, how the Lord is a very big creator. Even the gopis. So they may not, quote scriptures here and there much, but their faith is very high. By the dint of their devotional service, they have got that. They have love. What to say about the faith itself? They have attained the love stage. So I mean to say, Shastra Yukta Nipuna doesn't mean that he will be like have to be a great scholar. But he is very clearly has a great Shraddha, and he has that Krishna has given, that he can convince people of the fact. He can't, uh, uh, whereas some person may be Shastra Yukta Nipuna, but doesn't has faith. Right? Na? That he may go and defeat many people, but by its own practice he may not have. That we have also seen in our movement itself. So both are very much qualified, that has been said. And those what you're talking about, the cobbler, the cobbler, that is not been much said about, that he has knowledge or no knowledge. उतना नहीं बोला गया है. He appears to be a cobbler, so उसको शायद पढ़ने का जाने नहीं होगा. He appears to be literate in our convention of understanding. But that faith that he has, it can't be based on, it can't be based on, on some kind of a local convention. He has that faith that the Lord can, the Lord can make the elephant also pass to the eye of the needle. He has some, where he has read or heard the scripture on that basis he has faith. It can't, शास्त्रीय श्रद्धा के बिना ऐसा श्रद्धा नहीं आ सकता. वो भले ही वो शास्त्र युक्त मतलब वो भले ही ज्यादा युक्ति नहीं कर सकता, आज इधर से उधर से कोट नहीं कर सकता, बट फॉर हिम in a simple way he can tell people and convince. It can't happen because श्रद्धा का source क्या है? He has to get the Shraddha from somewhere. No, Shraddha can't come by its own. श्रद्धा का सोर्स है या तो वो शास्त्र पढ़ा है या शास्त्र सुना है. राइट, इट्स वेरी सिंपल. और शास्त्र पढ़ा है, शास्त्र सुना है, और उसने कुछ प्रैक्टिस भी किया है तो ही हुआ है. else it can't. We also have Shraddha, whatever level of Shraddha. No, to the degree you have heard and read and assimilated that knowledge. It can't be. Else we might have, that Krishna is there. That person may be good luck that he has not ever encountered some opposing element. The moment it would be, his faith, his will may evaporate away. If it is not on his hearing and reading basis. That's what is the because that's what I would like to say over here.
Thank you, Prasad.
Yeah. Yeah, Deepak, you had question.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, in last you mentioned that Gyanis are like three types. One who is know the Lord's power. Second is sweetness, and third was power and like sweetness. So you told her that those who know the power, they are like Brahman realize. But about second and third, what is like?
Oh, the second and third people. One who knows this only sweetness. I won't say anything because nothing much is written over there, so I know. So I will not get into it. But I would say for our sake, we have to know both the side. And when we also preach to people, we should give, because see, when you just speak about Lord's greatness, naturally, what kind of question comes in people's mind? Why is a dictator? No, that's a natural question which comes. When you start speaking about Lord's sweetness only, then people take it cheaply. No. So if the combination of greatness and sweetness at all this level makes the person, makes the person actually, reach the level of love. So one may be sentimental. You can say only he knows the sweetness of the Lord. He may be a sentimental fellow. You can say to be Sahajya also maybe. But Sahajya is also worshipping the Lord only. Right. So that's that kind of category, But one who knows the sweetness and greatness both is very safe. That's what I would say. Nothing more than I would say. Okay. Any more questions, bro? Else we'll just read the NOD and complete this chapter. Okay. Towards the NOD. Yes. Yeah, read through these 4 types of devotee.
Shrikar Prabhu.
Yes, these 4 types of devotees have been described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and they have all been accepted as pious. Without becoming pious, no one can no one can come to devotional service. It is explained in Bhagavad Gita that only one who has continually executed pious activities and whose sinful reactions in life have completely stopped can take to Krishna consciousness. Others cannot. The neophyte devotee are classified into 4 groups: the distressed, those in need of money, the inquisitive, and the wise according to their gradation of pious activities. Without
Okay. You just now read the highlighted Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna, however, has explained in Gita that out of these 4 types of neophytes, one who is wise is very dear to him. Because a wise man, if he's attracted to Krishna, is not seeking an exchange of material benefits. A wise man who becomes attached to Krishna does not want any return from him, either in the form of relieving distress or in gaining money. This means that from the very beginning, his basic principle of attachment to Krishna is more or less love. Furthermore, due to his wisdom and study of Shastra scriptures, he can understand also that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So over here is very clear. Prabhupada has encapsulated entire our discussion into these few paragraphs. Where Prabhupada is saying that the wise man who is actually the Jnani, who becomes attached to Krishna. He's not attached to Krishna yet. He will become attached to Krishna. He becomes attached to Krishna and does not want any return from him now. Because all other fellows, to them to come to this level of not having any other desire, it's very tough. And that is why they remain on unsteady stage. So proper now we were saying this means from the very beginning, his basic principle of attachment to person more or less love. You can say more or less love. We can't say it's pure love, but because he has no other abhilasha and he is trying to please the Lord, his love maybe as a babyhood love or a mature love, or a boyhood love or a mature love. that what has been said. No. So, but he has. As soon as he comes into the fold of Uttama Bhakti. Okay. Okay, read this without being.
Without being elevated to the position of Jnani or wise man, one cannot stick to the principle of worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. The less intelligence or those whose intelligence has been taken away by the spells of Maya are attached to different demigods on account of the influence of the modes of nature. The wise man is he who has thoroughly understood that he is a spirit soul and not simply a body. Because he realizes that he is spirit and Krishna is supreme spirit, he knows that his intimate relationship should be with Krishna, not with body. The distressed and the man in want of money are in material concept of life. Because distress and need of money are both in relationship with body, one who is inquisitive may be a little above the distress and the man in need of money and the man in need of money, but still he is on the material platform. But a wise man who seeks Krishna knows perfectly well that he is spirit soul or Brahman, and that Krishna is spirit soul or Parabrahman. He knows that the spirit soul, being being subordinate and finite, should always dawdle with the infinite and supreme soul, Krishna. That is the relationship of the wise man with Krishna.
So, for not much confusing to make it happen. See, these three, Kanishtha, Madhyama, Uttama, they no, they are being qualified over here in NOD as on the basis of Shraddha to take up Uttama Bhakti. As probably Midul Krishna Prabhu, what he was asking me, to me it appeared, no, I'm just re-clarifying it. To me it appeared that no, the in now Uttam Bhakti at the level of devotions who has been divided. No, that kind of Uttama is different. Here Kanishta, so we are not talking about that side. To me, it appeared that Midul Krishna Prabhu's question was of that side. That एक बार प्रैक्टिस शुरू कर दिया उत्तम भक्ति का, वो उत्तम भक्त का शास्त्रिक निपुण हो या नहीं हो, वो अलग बात है. वो वहां पे शास्त्रिक निपुण is not the criteria. But over here has been said, if somebody now before entering, you remember that example which I was saying, three boys give the entrance exam, one got fair, good, excellent. So at the entrance here we are talking. If somebody does not has very solid faith, Robert is saying which knowledge? Only one knowledge. I am not the body, I am spirit, soul, and I am servant of the Lord. Now, one who does not has this knowledge, very clearly from Shastras, has not a great faith on it. Oh, इसका गाड़ी आगे फंसने वाला है. ये ज्यादा लंबा नहीं जाएगा उत्तम भक्ति में घुसने के बाद भी. ये गाड़ी फंस जाएगा इसका, कहीं ना कहीं तो फंसेगा. क्यों? वो जरूर कहीं देह धर्म में फंस जाएगा. ऐसा ऐसा बहुत हो सकता है. यू अंडरस्टैंड ना कि देह के धर्म को पालन करने के लिए कहीं ना कहीं भक्ति का नुकसान करेगा ये फिर, क्योंकि क्लियर नहीं है इसको कि हम शरीर नहीं आत्मा है. हाँ, हम भगवान के दास हैं, ये उसको क्लियर नहीं है. वो उसको सुना है, ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत श्रद्धा है, ठीक है, बट बहुत ही क्लियर नहीं है. तो वो श्रद्धा वैसा नहीं है ना. That is why we hear Prabhupada speaking in every lecture almost. We are not the body, we are a spirit soul. We may get fed up, Prabhupada, what is this? Every class, no body, we are spirit soul. Why? That's required. No, that's required for, because whole distraction which comes in the practice of Uttam after entering into Uttam Bhakti is because of the bodily identification. To the degree we will be bodily identified, to that degree will be in problem. Na, all problems, problem will be there, but identification with the problem increases to the degree we identify with the body. So that Shraddha, see, that is why in after coming to Bhakti, even after of initiation, different devotee, you will see, in all temples, I'm saying, different types of devotees. Some devotees will be like saying, हाँ प्रॉपर ने बोला यही करना है. They will be, and you may say, अरे क्या इतना क्या है, वो उसका श्रद्धा है. अगर फैनेटिक नहीं है तो, फैनेटिकली आई एम नॉट सेइंग, तो यही है श्रद्धा. If we know, so that concept is over here being spoken of kanishtha, madhyam, uttam is basis on how who is qualified how much to take up uttam bhakti. I hope it's clear right now, Prabhu. Clear na? I hope so clear. So we are not talking about uttama bhakta of very high, of no after into, because उत्तम भक्ति में फिर लेवल है. वैदिक साधना, भाव भक्ति, प्रेम भक्ति, वो अलग लेवल है. बट यहाँ पे अभी तो बेसिक प्रॉब्लम कुछ और है. So surely 8:15, it's 8:15, you have question on this. Tomorrow you ask me, we can do more, because it is very clear. It is right now Kanishtha Madhyama is eligibility for Uttama Bhakti. It is not about further Uttama, because you will see at other places Uttam Bhakta is also defined as Vaidhi, as maybe as Uttam as maybe Prema level Uttam, Bhav level Uttam, Vaidhi level Uttam. These are different. Okay. Anybody has a very burning question right away, you can ask as I end. You can't just digest till tomorrow, prasadam. If you have that kind of problem, you can ask right now. Actually, nobody has, I feel. So I'm lucky nobody has that sort of question. So we end over here, bro. We'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Like-